east of Seven Hills in Florida's capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend. This is the award-winning News 20 at 5 Live.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of FAMU TV News 20. I'm Brea Baker.
And I'm Taylor Bishop. Presidential candidate Ben Carson was in Tallahassee today to promote his book, A More Perfect Union. The 2016 GOP candidate made a stop in Tallahassee at a local bookstore as part of his 38-city book tour. Many supporters came to see Dr. Carson solely to show their support for his new book and to get a copy of the signed book. During the City Commission meeting, Segway and pedicab regulations came into discussion. Multimedia journalist Brea Baker has the story.
City Attorney Louis Shelley and Ashley Edwards of Parks and Recreations are seeking guidance from the City Commission and Mayor Gillum on regulations for Segways and pedicabs, especially in park areas. During the meeting, Segway supporters, owners, and business owners argued that Segways and pedicabs are perfectly safe for park environments and are protected under Florida statutes. Trula Bell, a mother and Tallahassee resident, does not believe that Segways or pedicabs pose any threats to park goers.
Not really. I see Segways as no different than a bicyclist or a motorized bicycle. You see those around the parks.
Under Section 316.2068, the Florida statute states that electric personal assistive mobility devices are allowed on roads with speed limits of less than 25 miles per hour, on any streets where bicycles are permitted, on marked bicycle paths, and on sidewalks. Segway PT or personal transporters pose no threat to pedestrians and integrate well in congested urban environments. Nettles is excited about the impact the favorable vote will have on his business.
In the Florida law, statutes, allow us to be in all areas. And Tallahassee was thinking about keeping us out of the park, so we're happy to be in there and enjoy all the things Tallahassee has.
Brea Baker, FAMU TV 20.
Mayor Gillum says the next personal transporter to come into question will be the new hoverboards. Several Panama City Beach nightclub owners argue in a lawsuit that local officials violated their rights and showed racial bias when they approved a series of new ordinances to curb spring break mayhem. In the federal lawsuit, the plaintiffs allege a crackdown by local officials began with the arrival of more black visitors. The new regulations were prompted by a series of problems that included 3 men charged with alleged sexual assault on a crowded beach and a shooting at a spring break house party this year. With part of FAMU Way recently opening up, attention has already shifted to a new project. Multimedia journalist Mary Chastain has the story.
A new crossing is in the works for Tallahassee citizens. In total cost, a $7.2 million pedestrian bridge is being built to cross over to Cascades Park. Manager over at Blueprint 2000, Charles Hargraves, gives us the details.
We really believe that it will provide both economic and social benefits to the community. It's going to be connecting Cascades Park with the city's FAMU Way project and our Capital Cascades Trail that runs just north of FAMU's campus, south of the railroad, just south of Railroad Square. And as we believe,
According to Pavilion.com, this will be the first solar-powered pedestrian bridge in the world. The solar power will provide electricity to power the lighting of Cascades Park. Tallahassee resident Brandon Pittman tells us why he looks forward to the new bridge.
Definitely will bring a lot more traffic down here, so obviously it'll be probably a little bit of an ease as far as the transition to getting a more economic boost for the other side of the community, which maybe haven't had an opportunity due to some of the amenities being built up on this side of town. So I think it'll be a great addition.
The crossing will impact traffic control and safety benefits for the citizens of Tallahassee. The bridge will connect west of FAMU's Way's entrance and connect at the east end of Cascades Trail. They're pushing to open Cascades Crossing by April 2016. I'm Mary Chastain for News 20 at 5.
For more information to see the blueprint of the bridge, you can visit blueprint2000.org.
Tallahassee South Magnolia Drive upgrades have begun today, revamping a section of the busy South End thoroughfare with the building of a new multi-use trail and improving water and sewer utilities. The first phase will replace water and sewer before building the trail from South Meridian Street to Pontiac Road, the first step in its eventual completion to Appalachia Parkway. About 9,000 motorists travel South Magnolia on an average weekday, including the 1-mile segment that is expected to remain closed until next summer. And the FDA has put out a warning on a pure form of caffeine. Multimedia journalist Aja Roberts has more why consuming it may be dangerous.
What most consider a morning energy boost could now potentially send them to their deathbed. Instead of getting a cup of coffee from a local cafe shop, more people are now using a powdered form of caffeine. Coffee drinker Elizabeth Anderson says she can't start her day without having caffeine.
I love coffee because I just think it tastes good. I like to experiment and try new things, and for me, sometimes I use it to keep me awake, but I pretty much it's like a placebo effect at this point. Like, I just drink it in the morning because that's my routine, and like I get to start off my day.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration advises consumers to avoid all forms of powdered caffeine because of its hazardous risk if prepared incorrectly. Florida A&M University Health Service physician Dr. Hoffman warns people about knowing just how much caffeine is in their drink.
Recently, we've heard about this caffeine powder that's been available at some of the nutritional stores, and we want to warn people that a 1/16 of a teaspoon of that caffeine powder is equivalent to about 2 cups of coffee.
If used improperly, the deadly form of caffeine can cause irregular heartbeat, seizures, and death if a lethal amount is consumed.
The FDA put out a warning for the pure caffeine powder, and at least 2 deaths have been reported. For TV20, I'm Aja Roberts.
For more information, please visit the FAMU Online TV News 20 tab to see an in-depth breakout story on caffeine powder.
For our 5-day forecast, the weather will vary this week in the Big Bend area. On Wednesday, we'll have mostly cloudy skies, where the high will be 87 and the low will be 68. Thursday, we'll have partly cloudy skies in the morning with a 40% chance of showers in the afternoon. The high will be 86 and the low will be 68. Friday, we'll have partly cloudy skies where the high will be 87 and the low will be 66. That's all for weather today. Now back to you all at the desk.
The Florida A&M Rattler football team fell short to the North Carolina A&T Aggies over the weekend. With a season low of 124 total offensive yards, the Aggies managed to completely shut down the Rattler offense in the 28-10 upset. The Rattlers' lone touchdown came after a 3-yard pass from quarterback Carson Royal to Desmond Nord in the third quarter. The Rattlers will begin their final 3-game travel stretch next weekend as they head up to Hampton, Virginia to take on the Pirates of Hampton University. And that's all we have in sports. Back to you at the desk.
Mayor Andrew Gillum proclaimed November 2015 Domestic Violence Awareness Month. During the month of November, Tallahassee Longhorn Steakhouse is being recognized. The city commissioners met to discuss Tallahassee Longhorn Steakhouse and recognize the restaurant for their food donations and their services to survivors and their families. Mayor Gillum encourages all citizens to use Longhorn Steakhouse as an example to their work together at the end of domestic violence. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. For Travis, Shakoria, and Taylor, I'm Bray Baker. Thanks for watching FAMU TV 20.